What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batman Detective Comics, issue number 1057. This one's written by Mariko Tamaki. The backup storyline is written by Matthew Rosenberg. And this is part 11 of 12 of the 12-week issue weekly event that they've been doing in Detective Comics. So we got one more issue left in this thing, and then we're going to take a much needed break from Detective Comics. I think 12 straight weeks is quite a lot. Oh, in a way, it's kind of making me think back to those days of like the movie serials where it's just like you had to come back every week for the next chapter of the story. So in a way, if it's paying tribute to that, I kind of like that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I think after this, I think we're good for Detective Comics for a bit, because like 12 straight weeks and, you know, having to spend a couple bucks every issue, it's just like the cost kind of adds up for a storyline that's not amazing, but not quite terrible or anything like that. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the last issue, very end of it, Batman showed up, which was a cool, like, big hero save the day type moment. But at the same time, I'm just like, why do we need Batman in this issue? In a way, I'm like, one of my biggest fears was just like, oh, so Batman's just going to kind of come in here and just take away from the rest of the Bat family, who was just kind of like on their own for this whole thing. It just kind of makes them all seem a little bit worthless in a way, to where like they couldn't get anything done without Batman. And I'm like, no. Like, I feel like this storyline would have been much better had we not had Batman in it and just seeing the rest of the Bat family take care of this stuff on their own. That was like the entirety of the whole thing. And then all of a sudden Batman comes in here and he's pretty much one-man armying everybody else around him. Yeah, you got Huntress and all that, like, doing her thing. Nightwing's pretty much out of commission due to the fear gas. Tim and Steph and Kate are all working Arkham Tower. Oracle's on comms, Harley Quinn's there, Lady Clayface. Pretty much all these different people are kind of working in unison. Mayor Nakano's wife is kind of having a bit of a connection with Psycho Pirates, trying to like help him out and stuff. Batman comes in there, Anna Volshin's there, gets into a fight with Huntress. Scarecrow shows up, tries to fear toxin gas everybody. Cass kind of shows up in here. Cass has barely been like a factor into the storyline at all. I kind of wish they would have done a little bit more with her. Then we kind of flash forward to like much later on, and we see Mayor Nakano's wife is pretty much just like still under therapy or whatever that's going on here. And that's kind of where the issue just ends. Like, she's putting on the Psycho Pirate mask, and the design looks really cool, so she's going to kind of utilize her powers to kind of, I guess, save the day. Like I said, Scarecrow shows up in this thing, and then like it seems like he's going to be taken out by Mayor Nakano's wife, and Batman kind of working in unison, it seems, because like we're flashing forward, so obviously things are going to be all right. I wish we didn't really have this flash forward bit. I wish they would have saved that for the next issue, because now I'm like, okay, well, she's okay, but I still got to know why. So I'm glad we only have one issue left of this particular storyline, and I'm glad we're going to be kind of taking a much needed break from Detective Comics. It seems they're going to go back to twice monthly still, but like I said, 12 straight issues is a lot to, like, you know, pour into something. So yeah, like I said, this issue overall was decent. Artwork is fine. No real complaints about the artwork here. I do have issues with Batman showing up with it, because I feel like this should have been done without him, because the entire storyline's pretty much been done without him. Now he's coming in here to pretty much be like, oh yeah, here I am to basically one-man army everything that's going on in here. And like I said, I like Batman. Batman's like arguably the greatest superhero of all time, at least my favorite in terms of DC. Well, top 3 at least. I think I've become more of a Damian fan over the years, but like he can be Batman too. But like I said, Bruce Wayne, I just feel like we didn't really need him in this storyline. I feel like this should have been the Bat family working on their own. That's what was making it more interesting, is like we got Detective Comics and Batman's off doing his thing in I guess Batman Incorporated, but we don't really need him in this storyline. So there's that. Then we have the backup written by Matthew Rosenberg. This one's still interesting. We still don't know the name of the protagonist, that kid who's basically been tortured for like 10, 11 issues. He's not really in this particular one. Like there's some interesting stuff going on here. They try and, because if you remember, he was kind of leading the runaways into the sewers of Gotham, kind of working on something for them. Batman kind of cut him a break. It's just like, okay, we'll just leave him be. He's just trying to help these people. And then as they're kind of investigating, a trap is kind of set to where Batman, Nightwing, Tim Drake, and Red Hood are all in the sewers. Killer Croc shows up, Scarecrow shows up, Clayface shows up, and there's kind of a flood going on here. So, interesting. We still don't know the main character's name. He's not in this issue. So I'm interested to see how this storyline is all going to come to a conclusion. Like that, honestly, the backup has more intrigue than what's going on in the main storyline, because I'm like, who is this character? Like, I kind of really want to know at this point what's their end game with the Matthew Rosenberg backup. But yeah, so like I said, Detective Comics 1057, it's a pretty decent issue. Nothing amazing or nothing truly awful, but I do take issue with the fact that Batman has shown up in this thing and pretty much just rendered the other characters useless in a way to where they can't really do anything without him. I feel like you didn't need Batman in this thing. If he's not going to be it from like the start, then why is he showing up at the 11th hour to kind of be like the big hero of the day? Just, I don't know, like sometimes it's nice to have a big hero moment, but at the same time, I feel like we don't always, like if you have the other characters working hard the whole time and somebody else kind of comes in and gets the credit, it doesn't sit as well with me. So those are my takes on it. Take it for what it's worth. Like I said, artwork is very nicely done. Colors are on point, but I do take some issue with Batman kind of showing up in this thing. So yeah. But anyways, what are your thoughts on this particular issue? Tell me your thoughts in the comments section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. I think that's pretty much it in terms of comics for this week. Got some more stuff coming up next week. I think I might have to catch up in that War for Earth 3 storyline because that's going to cross over with Teen Titans Academy, but I'll get there when I get there. So these were the two main issues I wanted to get out talking about today. So yep, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.